Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're making the world's best buffalo chicken dip. Buffalo chicken dip is like a staple for any sort of Super Bowl or New Year's or anything like that party. It's also great in the summertime. Anyways, it's also good on a low carb diet, which, you know, sometimes I dabble in. So I figured, hey, make it from scratch instead of just going to Publix and buying it from the deli aisle. Now on this channel, what we like to do is we look up on Google the world's best recipe, and whatever the first recipe Google recommends us, we try it, we cook it, we see if it really is the world's best. I'm not a professional cook, I do my best, but I like to imagine this is what most of us do at home. Us non-fancy people, we just look up a recipe, we try to cook it, and we see how it comes out. So I feel like this could be good, we're gonna see. So let's try it out, let's get cooking. So the first step, let's first look it up. I already looked it up, so I'm kind of cheating, but I had to because I had to go buy the ingredients. I'll look it up again and I'll put it on the computer. You can see it's from this website called The Forked Spoon, and I've got it on my phone here. Now it looks really good. It looks like really stringy and like cheesy. Oh, one of the ingredients I still have to go get, mozzarella cheese, but we'll get to that later. Let's first get the first thing out of the way, which is cooked chicken. Now you could just go buy like a rotisserie chicken and shred that and use that, but the recipe technically calls for poaching it, which I've never really done, but I looked up how to poach, and basically it says you put the chicken in a pot with water, which I've got my chicken here and I got my pot of water, and this is just chicken breast, boneless, skinless, and you just pop it in the water, you turn on your heat. One sec, let me open it. Anyways, you pop it in your water and then you turn on the heat and bring it to a boil. I might have too much water if I'm honest with you. In the pictures I looked at of poaching, there was less water, but we're committed now. So let me turn on my burner here. All right, so I just turned my water up to high. Gonna bring it up to a boil. Hold on, let me double check how to do this. I've never cooked chicken like this. I mean, I think I've boiled it before, but never poached. That word was new to me when it comes to chicken. Like I said, not a professional cook. Cover chicken with water, bring water to a boil over medium-high heat. Okay, I think we're there, basically. You'll see some white, scummy foam collecting on the surface. As the water comes to a boil, it's fine to leave it. Then we reduce it to a simmer as soon as the water comes to a boil, and we cover it with our cover. And then we begin checking the temp of the chicken after 8 minutes. It is done when opaque through the middle and an instant read thermometer says 165. See guys, we're learning together. So let's let it come to a boil and then we'll be right back. All right, so would we call this a boil, guys? I don't know, let me zoom in, you tell me. I think that's a boil. So what it says to do is once you get the chicken boiling, you bring your heat down to like a simmer. So I'm gonna put it like right next to low here. Well, actually, let me cover it first, I guess. I don't know. Cover it and then bring the heat down. We'll do it that way. And I'll set my timer for 8 minutes, then we'll pull a piece of chicken out and see what the internal temp is. We're going for 165. All right, I'm back. It's been 8 minutes. We're gonna pull off the lid here. We're gonna pull out a piece of chicken and we're gonna temp it and see if it's at 165. It looks pretty weird, I'll say that. Look at that, isn't that weird? Ah, I dropped it. Chicken, oh gosh. Well, nice new tongs I got from viewer Brian. They're rigged against me. 148 degrees, so we gotta go a little longer. We're not at 165 yet. They're pretty thick pieces of chicken. Let's get it back on there and keep going. Okay, so, sorry guys, I'm back. I took the chicken out. There's an airplane going overhead. I took the chicken out because it hit 165, but I was on a call, and so I ended up not being able to record it. But anyways, the chicken hit 165, we took it out. It looks absolutely disgusting, but that's poached chicken, I guess. I think I'm gonna put it in the fridge or something because I have to go get an ingredient that I don't have, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, sorry. So I got the ingredients I need. Mozzarella cheese was the big one I was missing. So now that we've got our chicken all cooked, we're gonna shred that, we're gonna get everything else ready, and we're gonna actually assemble this buffalo chicken dip. So there's a couple things we need to do in preparation. First is we need to get a cup of green onion chopped. So that's this, as far as I know. This is green onion. And so we're just gonna chop that up, a cup worth. I got this nice new sharp knife sent to me by a viewer, Brian. Thank you, Brian. It's pretty impressive how quick it cuts stuff. Hopefully I don't cut myself. So we need a cup. I've got a cup measure here, and I can do it a little more fine if needed, but I just wanna get, yeah, so that's the total amount. And I think this is just a garnish for on top of the buffalo chicken dip, which I do love that idea. I've just got this knife right here as I move my hands quickly back and forth. Really safe, Dave, really safe. I'm just gonna save this for later. So anyways, we got a half cup of green onions. We then need to shred some cheese. You know what, maybe I should get a plate to put it on, or a bowl. Here, this'll work, this bowl. I think this'll work. This thing does a pretty good job of like containing my cheese and stuff. Oh, this is actually a pre-sliced mozzarella, which is not ideal. I didn't realize that when I got it. See how it's like got all these slices? Well, I'm gonna still try to shred it. Oh man, this can make this difficult. I'll just do it like this, one little piece at a time. So I'm shredding the mozzarella from scratch. Do you need to do that? No, you could probably just buy pre-shredded mozzarella. You know, I do feel like it makes a difference when it comes to cheese. Buying pre-shredded versus shredding it yourself, I do feel like it makes a mild difference, and that it's a little better if you do it yourself. A lot of times I can't tell the difference, like fresh ground pepper, although I am gonna fresh grind the pepper today too, because Brian also sent me a pepper grinder because he said he was triggered that I was using normal pepper. But for me, I don't really think it matters. Like I said, this isn't a fancy cooking channel. This isn't like binging with Babish. Don't go watch that. Just because I said it doesn't mean you should go watch it. You should watch this. Anyways, we're trying to shred this, although it's not really going that well because it's in little slices and I don't want to chop my finger up. We need 1.5 cups of this, so maybe I'll finish this up and I'll come back when it's done. Stand by. Maybe this isn't the right way to shred this kind of mozzarella. It's not really shredding it. It's more like annihilating it and making a big mess. Maybe I'll just chop the rest of it. It'll be fine. I'm just gonna do that because the shredding isn't really going that well. I'll shred the cheddar. It's a harder cheese. This is such a soft cheese that it's really struggling to be shredded properly. But this will be the same idea. I mean, we're just gonna melt it regardless in the oven. Oh, okay, so here's a good reminder. If you're following along, you should preheat your oven to 350 degrees. If you haven't already, I haven't told you to, so you probably haven't, but that's what this recipe says. So if we wanna know if it's the world's best, we're gonna have to at least cook it at some point. All right, is this 1.5 cups? Yeah, all right, so we got 1.5 cups of mozzarella, and then we're gonna put that in our bowl, and then we're gonna do 1.5 cups of the mild cheddar? Didn't say sharp or mild, so I got mild. I don't know, there is a big difference in the taste, but I figured if it didn't say sharp, it probably wanted mild. This should shred a lot better. Yeah, this is going much more smoothly. Just shredding the cheddar. Shred that cheddar. Yeah, buffalo chicken dip is always one of my favorites. So I'm excited to try this. I was having a really hard time figuring out what to cook. It would be good if you guys comment down below and let me know something you want me to try cooking and testing out to see if it's the world's best recipe based on what Google recommends. It's always helpful if you give me some recommendations. Sometimes it's hard to think of stuff. 1 cup and 1/2 cup? Yeah, because this one's heaping. That's good. 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar. So we're just getting all our ingredients ready. We got mozzarella, we got cheddar, we got green onions. I'm gonna throw the cheddar in this bowl, you know, just so it's stored. I think I'm gonna need to use these measuring implements again, so I wanna free them up. I have a question. I think it's a dumb question, but I'm the kind of person who's not afraid to ask dumb questions. Because really, is there any dumb questions? But liquid measuring cups versus dry measuring cups, right? So these are dry measuring cups. Liquid are like the glass Pyrex ones. I'll go get one in a minute. They're the same amount, right? Like if you took a cup of cheese and put it into a liquid measuring cup, it would still be a cup, right? It wouldn't be any different, would it? Is there really a difference? Or is a liquid just different because it's easier to pour stuff out of it and pour stuff into it? Inquisitive Daves wanna know. All right, so up next we're gonna grab the chicken out of the fridge. And I'll be honest, I put it in the fridge because, first of all, I needed to get more ingredients. But second of all, I hate shredding hot chicken. It hurts my fingers. I have sensitive fingers. So all we're doing now, as you can most likely see, is just shredding the chicken. Just shredding it into, you know, more bite-sized bits. And I'm telling you, I've done this hot. Watch some of my old videos. I've done this while the chicken was still scorching hot because I'm an impatient person. And man, did I regret it because it hurt really bad. So definitely, if you can, if you have the time, let it cool off. It's still gonna taste good. You probably don't need to put it in the fridge. You could just set it out on the counter and cover it. But I put it in the fridge because, I don't know. An abundance of caution. Don't want it to get any germs on it or anything. I covered it and put it in the fridge. My dog likes it when I do cooking videos. She comes out here and she picks up all the stuff I drop. Here, have some chicken. Like little bits of cheese and stuff. Although I do sometimes intentionally drop some for her. But yeah, in the interest of asking dumb questions, why do they call it buffalo chicken dip in the first place? Like what is I should look up the origin of that. It's not a history channel. I tried to tell the story of, Ohio chili, what's it called? Cincinnati chili. And people were getting mad. They're like, Dave, you're not a history teacher. Don't try to educate us on the history of foods. So I guess I won't educate you on the history of buffalo chicken dip. All I know is that it's not made from buffaloes. You know, that's all. But buffalo sauce. Well, I mean, I guess you'd need to go back to the history of buffalo sauce. Like, why is it called buffalo sauce? Maybe it's from Buffalo, New York. I don't know. That could be it. It could all just be a regional thing. Anyways, so shred up your chicken like I'm doing. Get it all nice and small. And then you've got a whole nother ingredient ready to go. Then we're gonna need to measure out our ranch and our buffalo sauce. And then I think we'll be maybe a couple spices, maybe some pepper and garlic powder, some cream cheese, stuff like that. This is pretty good, right? Pretty shredded. Yeah. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, we need 1 cup of ranch and 1 cup of hot sauce. Let me get that. Here's my 2 liquid measuring cups. I probably could just stack them on top of each other, but whatever. As far as the hot sauce, I'm using Frank's Red Hot Original. We're just gonna do a cup of that, which is gonna be like, let me move the chicken over here so we can actually see what we're measuring here. Get in there, Frank's. There you go, 1 cup of Frank's, set that aside, and then we'll do 1 cup of ranch. I think it's a ranch, yeah. Homemade or store-bought. I didn't want to home-make the ranch, I'm sorry. Call me lazy, if you will, but it just didn't sound appealing to me. I think that's about a cup. Yep, 1 cup of ranch, perfect. We're also gonna need pepper and garlic powder. Let me see what the next step is. Okay, so first we need this 9x9. That's what it's gonna go in once it's all ready. Spray it down with some grease so it doesn't stick, I guess. That's what it says. Let me go get some grease and I'll do that. All right, so we'll just spray this down with some Pam. Set this over here. All right, so we're gonna move back over to our cooktop and we're gonna actually start cooking this. All right, so we're gonna turn on our heat again. I almost just cooked my eyebrows off. That's okay. At least I didn't, I guess. All right, so heat that up. Medium heat, it says. So this will be the first mention of it because I forgot to mention it. There you go, that's getting warm. Cream cheese, 8 ounces of cubed cream cheese. And to cube it, I literally just cut it into cubes. So we're gonna put that in the saucepan. Oh, that seems way too hot. Uh-oh, it's on medium. Oops. I guess it'll be a little bit crispy of cream cheese here. Yikes. What a fail. That's okay. I took it off the heat for a second. Anyways, you're supposed to add the cubed cream cheese, ranch dressing, which we'll add now, which will help cool it down hopefully, because clearly it's a little bit overly hot. The hot sauce, probably put it back over the heat at this point. Hot sauce, mix that up a little. There we go. Black pepper and garlic powder. So that's a teaspoon of each. I guess I could show you. I'm literally grinding the pepper myself. I don't know, is it really worth it? A lot of the viewers say yes, so there we go. Teaspoon of black pepper, throw that in there, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Throw that in there, and then we're gonna whisk it again. You're supposed to whisk constantly. I kind of failed already because I was over there doing the garlic powder, the pepper thing. I feel like there's a lot in here that I didn't get. At least the hot sauce came out. Okay, so basically what we want to do is dissolve the cream cheese. You see how it's got all those like little chunks of white? Can you see that? It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Anyways, now you can maybe see some of the chunks of white. I'm gonna try to let those dissolve into the hot sauce over the heat, kind of melt. I don't know how long it'll take. It's been like, what, a minute that it's been on here? So definitely longer than a minute. It's a little overexposed too, sorry about that. It's hard to get the exposure right when you're dealing with the sun that moves. And that's not like my child, the sun, it's like the in the sky sun. Now what's gonna go in here next is the chicken and the cheese, but it does say to take it off the heat for that. So we will do that. We'll take it, we'll move it over, and then we'll add those ingredients. But it's only a cup of each. Let me go grab those, hold on. Here's our cheeses we prepped. Just put them on here. Be cool to get like a little tabletop when I'm not using the whole thing. But, you know, personal problem. I just feel like I left a lot of ranch in this bowl. Do you think I should add just a little dollop? I'm going to. There we go. Want to make sure we've got the right ranch to buffalo sauce. I'm not into super spicy stuff. Like I like a spicy thing from time to time, but crazy spicy, I usually pass on. All right, so those chunks are pretty much gone. I bet that's gonna be too hot to touch. It is. So I'm gonna have to get a pot holder to do this next step. All right, so since that's melted, I'm gonna just move this over here. And I'm gonna add into it 1 cup, well actually, first let me add the chicken. I'm gonna add all the chicken, simple as that. Can I just use my hands? I'm gonna use my hands. Okay. I'm gonna add 1 cup of the cheese and 1 cup of the other cheese. So basically both cheeses. There you go, mozzarella and cheddar have been added. And now we're just gonna, ow, it's hot and I forgot and I burned myself. Dang it, Dave. Typical. My dog is barking, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get her to stop. So let's mix all this in. I thought it would be less chicken. Here, let me turn off this heat so I don't burn down the house. Mix, mix, mix. I need to hold on to this, but I'm gonna use this so I don't. There, you see it? Does it look beautiful and glorious? Glorious, glorious dip. It does look like pretty good buffalo chicken dip, I'll be honest. I'm excited about it. All right, let me look what the instructions say next. You know, it actually wants us to add the green onion in here. I'm surprised by that. I thought that was gonna be a garnish, but it says to add it, so we're adding it. Weird. So that's all right, it adds a nice pop of color to this. Put that nice green onion in with it. That'll be good. It is time to get pumped though, because we're pretty much done. We gotta cook it, but I'm gonna take my little, the 9x9, 8x8, whatever it is, and pour it in to that, now that it's all mixed up. And this is going to be our buffalo chicken dip. Now remember, I only used a cup of the cheeses, meaning I have some cheese left over that I can put on the top of this. So I've got like a half a cup of mozzarella that's just gonna get sprinkled over the top, and a half a cup of cheddar that's gonna get sprinkled over the top. Just kind of evenly distribute the mozz here, and then evenly distribute some cheddar. This would be great for low carb. I mean, the chips aren't low carb is the only problem, but you know, it's not a big deal. Some cheddar, and there's a bunch of cheddar in it as well. There we go. All right, so next step is to put this in the oven at 350 degrees, I think for 20 minutes. It says 20 to 30 minutes until the cheese and sides are starting to bubble. Set oven to broil at the end to let it cook for an additional 2 to 3 minutes to get the top golden brown. All right, I'm gonna bring this in. We're gonna start cooking it for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna clean up my mess, and then we'll be back when it's done. All right, let's take a look at this buffalo chicken dip. Looks pretty good. It's been about 25, 30 minutes. Now we're gonna hit broil to get like a crispy top. Maybe do that for like 3 minutes. All right guys, the buffalo chicken dip is out and it is bubbling around the edges. This thing is probably so hot it'll melt my face. I feel like I maybe should have done some more cheese. Like I like the crustiness there, but it didn't go all the way around. Maybe I didn't have enough cheese. I'm just putting some of those saved green onions on the top as a garnish. And we're gonna try it. The only fear is if I try it right now, I might melt my whole mouth. And so I'm gonna let it cool for a couple minutes. I mean, okay, so let me get a plate. How about that? I'll start there, baby steps. So I'm gonna try this 2 different ways. First way is I think the traditional way, right? Put it on some chips. So let's open those. Second way, because I am on a diet, I've been eating lower carb, or trying to eat lower carb. If you wanna see, hopefully you can see a difference, like if you go watch my chili video to now, I've lost some weight and I've been doing it with like lower carbs. So I've been eating a lot of these like 0 carb wraps. Probably not the healthiest. So I think when I actually dig into this, I'll put them on the wrap and try them. And then this would be like officially a keto friendly kind of a thing. With the chips, not so much, but we should try it that way because that's the traditional way to try it. So let me, oh man, this is gonna be good. Oh, the chip broke. No. Okay, I brought a spoon as backup. I'm glad I did. All right, let me get an extra chip for structural integrity. There we go. Oh, and I dropped the whole thing. It's so hot, guys. All right, well, this has been a real mess. Let's try it. World's best buffalo chicken dip. Dripping, dripping, dripping. Going in. Okay, that was too messy. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I mean, that was just mayhem. I'm gonna do a smaller bite. That'll be better. A little smaller bite. It's really good. I'm just sitting here pigging out at this point. But yes, it's delicious. I think I'm gonna really like it on the wrap too. So I'm gonna take some and put it on a wrap like that. Let it cool longer than I've let it cool. Did I get it on my shirt, the beard? Because it's really hot. This is without a doubt the best buffalo chicken dip I've ever had. It's not even a contest. I've had quite a few other ones. None of them are as good as this. This is really creamy and good. And it's got a ton of like just awesome flavors. I love it. This is exciting because I can save it and I can have this for the next like 5 meals. Really awesome. I recommend you try this one. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe. Check out some of my older videos and we'll have a new one out shortly.